I thought I would talk about how cardiology fellowship compares to residency. So, to be honest, as a fellow, it's like the training wheels are off now and you're responsible for what you don't know. In fellowship, people will look to you for more answers, whereas in residency, you're the one that is like asking more questions or passing along information. So, more of my free time is actually spent doing individual studying, trying to close my own knowledge gaps. And, let me be clear, your first year, people don't really expect you to know like absolutely everything, but you will be the first line person they will reach out to. So you kind of have to have a general idea of what the patient might need to be done immediately. So the second thing is that I felt like a little kid in a candy shop because all the things that we cover are more interesting to me, which can be somewhat confusing, just kind of like what you might want to do in the future. So, if, for example, like one week I'll see a very cool congenital echo and I'll think, oh, I want to be an imager. And then the next week we'll have like a complex pacemaker problem. And I'm like, oh, I want to be an electrophysiologist. And I was not like that in residency. I feel like I pretty much knew that I like cardiology kind of exclusively. And it was difficult for me to kind of like stay engaged in other subspecialties. Then one of the last things that's a little bit more complicated, I feel like you start to feel like, okay, I've made it this far. I just have to master this, and I can feel that I'm getting closer to my end goal. And in residency, it's really hard to think about the future because a lot of times you're just trying to survive, one rotation at a time. But in fellowship, you are giving your future more thought, like, what do I want my practice to look like? What kind of practitioner do I want to be? So you kind of feel a little bit more in control of your future and you start to feel like all your effort is finally coming to fruition.